Hello, and welcome to this FinGraphs podcast on Dukascopy TV on cryptocurrencies. This week, we're going to look at an update on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the ratio of Ethereum versus Bitcoin. We will do so using FinGraphs Mosaic on our fingraphs.com website. And on the first line of our mosaic, we've put Bitcoin, Ethereum, the ratio of Ethereum versus Bitcoin, and the euro-US dollar on a daily basis for the perspective over the next few months. On the lower line, we've put the same instruments, but are looking at them on an hourly basis. So for the projection over the next few weeks. We're going to look at them in detail, but just a quick overview. Bitcoin is still accelerating up. It is in quite a strong exaggeration at the moment, but it is also going hyperbolic. So you may see some short-term retracements, but it does seem like for now the trend is still underway. This is also what we could see here on an hourly graph. Similarly, Ethereum is also accelerating up, and for now it is difficult to call a top at this stage. More interestingly, we believe the ratio of Ethereum versus Bitcoin, which had been consolidating since December, seems to be resuming up. We will look at the ratio and try to understand if this reversal on a relative basis could be sustainable over the next few months. And finally, just as a guidance, we look at the euro. We believe that the cryptos are very much anti-dollar, and in this case, the euro is a guidance, although it has not been as dynamic as the cryptos over the next few months. Here too, we expect the uptrend to continue over the next few months. So first, a quick glance at Bitcoin. A few months back, we had projected that we would actually make new highs on Bitcoin, and that the whole period between late 2017 and today looked like a consolidation period and then a reacceleration and an uptrend. It does look almost like a cup, and maybe we get a small handle at some point, and then further acceleration to the upside over the next few quarters. In terms of targets, at the moment, what we could calculate, there's huge volatility, but what we could calculate is initial targets around 22,000. On the risk index element, we are still very low, which means that we did indeed see a consolidation, and the risk did come down to our oversold levels, and we are just coming out of it. So that could tell us that there's a lot more to go over the medium to long term on Bitcoin. On the daily graph, we have shot across our larger envelope with price and with our smaller envelope. So we are in an exaggeration. Our risk index is in the overbought, and we have reached above our impulsive targets to the upside. So it's difficult to position oneself against such a strong trend, but it is in an exaggeration, and you may see some retracements over the next few weeks. We do believe that these should be buy the dips opportunities. Shorter term, we are also getting towards a point where Bitcoin is overbought with our risk index. Our envelopes are touching each other, and we have reached our impulsive 2 targets to the upside. So we are getting very close to the December 2017 highs. We may shoot above them over the next few days, but then we would expect a bit of retracement, difficult to time. And if we do get that kind of retracement, it's probably a buy the dips opportunity. Let's move to Ethereum. Ethereum is lagging Bitcoin in its recovery since the sell-off between late 2017 and 2019. It is now in corrective targets to the upside on our weekly graph, which means that for the time being, we cannot confirm a long-term uptrend on it. But at some point, if it moves above 710 or 709 here, to be more precise, we will be breaking out into impulsive territory again. And we could then confirm a more stable, long-standing uptrend, which we believe should be the case, as it should probably follow Bitcoin in its very strong move. Thereafter, the next targets will probably be towards the late 2017 highs, around 1140. The risk index here also is very low and does give us some comfort as to the sustainability of this resume uptrend situation. Shorter term, very similar to Bitcoin, we've shot through our envelopes, we've reached our impulsive targets to the upsides, and we're slowly getting into an overbought situation on our oscillators. It's not quite confirmed yet, we're getting into it, but also here at some point we should see a bit of retracement. Again, very hard to time, but if it does happen, it's a buy the dips opportunity. And looking at the hourly, we are getting close to our impulsive 2 targets. We are also out of the prices is above our larger envelope, and our smaller envelope is above our larger envelope, which is also a sign of exaggeration. And we are getting also into the overbought. So, I mean, it could happen over the next few days. We may get a bit of retracement, and if it does happen, and it could last a week to 10 days, we would then jump into it again for the next move. Probably what is interesting here is that on the ratio of Ethereum versus Bitcoin, we have quite a similar situation to what we have on Ethereum, with a long-standing consolidation here, an oversold situation on our oscillators, and a gradual base being built here. It's still very, very low, so perhaps we cannot put too much insurance into it, but we do believe that if the ratio follows Bitcoin and Ethereum, at some point it will start accelerating up. And since it's probably worth following the huge move on Bitcoin over the last few weeks, also on Ethereum, but to start looking at Ethereum and other altcoins, which could be catching up and probably outperforming Bitcoin over the next few years. Now, it's very early in the stage, it's still a base, but we have been oversold and are probably slowly getting out of this base. If we look at the daily graph, we've seen a consolidation of Ethereum versus Bitcoin since September. Interestingly, as growth stocks basically also corrected versus the market. It's probably due to the fact that Bitcoin is more like a currency, whereas Ethereum and other blockchain-related cryptocurrencies do have physical applications in the market. And what we're seeing is that we've probably found some support here around our corrective target, the lower end of our corrective targets to the downside. And we may be in a situation of a resume uptrend of the ratio of Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So it may be the start of a larger trend, of which we are starting to talk about on our weekly charts. And if we look at the hourly, the bounce is quite nice. I mean, we've seen 2 points of stress, a base being built during November, and then a first acceleration up. It's probably not finished yet. It probably leads us another week or so. It's not overbought yet, also on a risk index basis, and it may be the start of something bigger to come over the next few quarters. So we still like Bitcoin, we still like Ethereum. We believe that they may correct a bit over the next few weeks, but it's a buy the dip situation, and we are starting to look very seriously at the ratio of Ethereum and other altcoins versus Bitcoin, as they could be interesting over the next few quarters. Thank you very much and have a good week.